So in the last session, we have seen how we can implement our framework from the scratch. So as part of the implementation, right? So we have seen different things like starting from Maven project, updated pom.xml, and we have created the folder structure, and then we have automated 3 test cases. One is a simple login, then login data-driven test case, and then adding a new customer test case. So along with these 3 test cases, I will also provide you another 3 test cases, which is already automated. Just you can import those test cases in your Eclipse project and you can try them. And if you want to try yourself, you can also try them. So I'll provide you those 2 test case implementation part. Okay. Now, once we have done the phase 1, so the next phase of framework is execution part. Okay, this is also very, very important. So execution, and then we have a maintenance. These are 3 different phases we discussed. So execution and maintenance will be part of continuous integration. So from today and tomorrow topics are very, very important. So please focus on this. And I'm going to cover most real-time concepts. Okay, exactly what will happen in the projects, like how the developer, tester, and DevOps team will communicate each other. So all these things will be covered in today's and tomorrow's session. So execution and maintenance. So these are the 2 different phases comes under continuous integration. So here we need to understand what is a continuous integration. So continuous integration is a process where the QA or developer and DevOps. So these 3 teams collectively working together towards achieve one goal. Okay, that's a continuous integration process. So continuous integration is basically a process, okay, where everything will happen parallelly. So from one side development will happen, the other side testing will happen, and the other side testing and development integration will happen. So all these things will continuously happen and everything is dependent. Okay, so the entire process is called as a continuous integration process. So we are also going to discuss today that one. And so execution part, as part of execution, so we need to know how many ways we can execute our test case. So once I started Jenkins, I'll talk about what is continuous integration in detail. So before that, we need to do a few more things here. How many ways we can execute our test cases? So far, how we have executed our test cases using testng.xml is the main source, right? So using testng.xml, so we have added all our test cases, and then we have executed testng.xml. So within the Eclipse, if you want to execute your test cases, we use testng.xml. Fine. But there is also another way. We can also execute our all test cases or tests using pom.xml. So far we have used pom.xml for only one purpose. So that is, we just added all the dependencies and it is automatically downloaded all the jars and attached them to your project. So that's the only one usage we have seen so far, right? But now onwards, we are going to see few more uses of pom.xml. So the second uses of pom.xml is we can also run all the test cases, everything, whatever we specified in the testng.xml. But again, pom.xml also will internally execute testng.xml file. Okay, but if you have a testng.xml file, why we need to again execute through pom.xml file? Why it is required? Because testng.xml file can be executed only within the Eclipse. So outside of the Eclipse, if I close my Eclipse, without having Eclipse, we cannot execute XML file. So Eclipse is mandatorily required. But when I run my test cases using pom.xml, we don't require any Eclipse. Even without Eclipse also, we can run our automation test cases. Okay, that is another benefit from pom.xml. But before executing pom.xml without Eclipse, first it should be able to execute within Eclipse. Everything should be successful within Eclipse. And if pom.xml is able to execute successfully within Eclipse, and then we can execute all the test cases without Eclipse. Okay, so pom.xml, the first approach is run the test cases with Maven pom.xml within your Eclipse. The second approach is run test cases through Maven CLI. So here we don't require Eclipse. So run the test cases through Maven CLI command line interface. We can run it without having any Eclipse. The third approach is we can run the test cases using run.bat file. We can just create one file, a bat file, and if I just one with single click, we can run all your test cases. And the last fourth one is a run test cases using Jenkins. So this is again a step-by-step process. We cannot directly jump into the fourth stage. So it is a step-by-step. So first we should able to run our test cases to pom.xml. If it is successful, then we can execute our test cases through command prompt. If the first phase is not successful, we cannot go for the second phase. These are all basically phases. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 phases. But ultimate goal is we should able to execute our test cases through Jenkins. So this will happen every time in the real-time environment. Okay. So in the first phase, we will execute our test cases using pom.xml, Maven pom.xml. And the second phase, once it is successful, then in the second phase, we execute through command prompt. And here we will close completely exit. We don't require Eclipse. And then the third phase, we will execute through run.bat file. And if you want to run your test cases through run.bat file, first of all, it should run through command prompt and successful. And finally, if run.bat file is successful, and then we will go and execute the same test cases in Jenkins. So in the Jenkins itself, we will run the run.bat file. Okay, these are the different 4 phases we have. We can execute our test cases. Now, continuous integration will start from the Jenkins. Here I will talk about more on continuous integration. So first, let us focus on first 3 items. So first one is how to run the test cases with Maven pom.xml. So to do this, what we have to do is go to your Eclipse. Now open your pom.xml. So in your pom.xml, you don't see this particular thing. So this is newly I have added. So currently your pom.xml will be like this. This is your pom.xml. Right? So this is your pom.xml. So in the pom.xml, what you guys can do is, along with these dependencies, we need to also add other type of entries called plugins. So we need to add 2 types of plugins. So to execute our test cases through pom.xml file. So what are those plugins? The first approach I'm writing here, run the test cases using pom.xml within your Eclipse. So if you want to run this, we have to add these 2 plugins. One is Maven compiler plugin, Maven surefire plugin. So these are the 2 plugins. These are also just like a dependencies. It is also an entries. So we can add these 2 dependencies in the pom.xml file. So where we have to add, how we have to add. So when you open your Eclipse, after completion of this properties tag and before starting the dependencies, here we need to add. So before adding this, we need to first write a build tag. Okay, in the build tag, this is a manual entry we have to write. Okay, in the build tag, we have to add one more tag called plugins. So inside this plugins, we need to add those 2 plugins. The first plugin will be this one. So this is the first plugin entry. This is Maven compiler plugin. So this plugin is responsible for compile your XML files and test cases and everything. So if you want to compile something, we need to use this particular plugin. This is one thing. And the other plugin is also there, that is called surefire plugin. Surefire plugin. This is another plugin. So under build tag, under plugins tag, we need to add 2 plugins. This is the first one, and this is the test one. And the second plugin is responsible for execution of your testng.xml. And the first one is responsible for compiling all the code. If there are any issues, it will show you. And the second plugin is actually responsible for running your XML file, testng.xml file, okay, within your project. So these are the 2 different, these are the additional entries which we need to add in your pom.xml in addition. Okay, so now we have added these plugins. Once we have added this plugin, so dependencies should be still there. Okay, these are only additional plugins which we need to add. So I'll just send you these 2 plugins. You can just add into your pom.xml. You can do that. So once we have saved this particular file, and once we save these entries, after that, just update your project. So as soon as we have added these plugins, 2 plugins, just right click on your project, go to Maven, and here you can see one option called update project. Okay, so just click on this update project. Now it will show you the project name. Select and click on OK button. So it will try to update all the project, and if there are any dependencies, everything, any files are missing, configuration files are missing, it will automatically download and keep it everything ready. So the first time, as soon as you have added these two plugins, you need to just right click and just update your project. Right click Maven and update project. So this is the option you have to select. Okay. So once we have done this setting, now we can run the pom.xml and automatically internally the test cases will be executed. Now, the first important thing is when you run your test cases using pom.xml, you will get this in error first time in your Eclipse. In your Eclipse, you will see this kind of error. No compiler is provided in this environment. Perhaps you are running on JRE rather than JDK. So this is the error you will get at the first time when you run your pom.xml file. So the solution for this is, why you are getting this one is because Maven is required JDK, not JRE. But so far, whatever is configured, everything is running on JRE. So if you go and see here Windows preferences, and here currently by default in your Eclipse, in all your Eclipses, this option will be there. You don't see this JDK option. Okay, you will see this option. So when I use this default option, I'm just shifting this option. Now when I run this pom.xml file, it will throw some error. Let me just execute and see what error it will do. Run as Maven test. So this is how we need to execute your pom.xml. So here we can just run as Maven test. This is the one we can do, or we can also right click here, run as Maven test. So this is an option you guys should use. Okay, because we are running the pom.xml from Maven. So when I run this my code, it will throw some error. So Maven test. Now you can observe here clearly. So now we can see these are the different errors. So it will still not yet started. So yeah, I think it is executing. But because I already added that one, so it is not giving anything. So it is started execution without any issue. But in your case, you will definitely get one issue first time. So that is this one. And test cases are running successfully. And in your case, you will get this error in the command window. So what you guys can do is just go to Window, Preferences, and here the JRE is there, right? So I have to remove this actually. I haven't removed. But in your case, what you guys can do is just go to Add here. Okay, so go to Add and Standard VM next, and here just browse your JDK path. Just browse your JDK path. That's more important. Okay, let me just remove and show you. Just hold on. Okay, my test case is done. So for now, what I can do is I just remove my option and show you what is the error. So JDK is already there, right? So I'm just removing this my JDK for now. So for your case, this will be the current situation. Okay, so JR will be selected and apply and close. Now again, one more time, I'm running my pom.xml, run as Maven test. Okay, so it is again running. But first time when you see this particular entry, so you guys should update the JDK. Okay, and later you can just remove it. Still it is working because it is trying to download something from the JDK. So that's more important. So still it is running perfectly right. My test cases are running fine. Right now you can see the first test case is done. Now it is second test case. But you will definitely get this error first time. Okay, so the solution for this is you need to go to Window, Preferences, and here let it be here and click on Add, Standard VM next, and here go to Directory, and JDK is there, right? So JDK, wherever the Java is installed, select the JDK, then select the folder. So automatically it will get the JRE name and everything. Then just click on the finish. Now we will see these two entries. Okay, so now select the first one and then apply and close. So this is a solution you have to apply if you are getting this particular error. Okay, done. So my test case have been executed through pom.xml file. So let me, and currently how many test cases I have enabled in the XML file? Currently 2 test cases have been enabled. This is a data driven test I have just commented, and rest of the 2 test cases I have enabled. Now one more time I am executing pom.xml, run as Maven test. So once we have run the Maven test, it will start execution of your test cases here, and still you can see the screen and UI. So every time you do some changes, you have to update your Maven project. Until unless you update your project, it will not take the changes, latest changes. So login is done. It is trying to add a new customer. Login is successful. So now I think it is trying to add a new customer. Okay, now it is clicking on customer. Every time the email ID is providing a dummy data. So it's a customer roles. Okay, so done. So my test case is completed. Fine. So through pom.xml, we are able to successfully execute our test cases. So this is how we need to do. The first thing is in the pom.xml, we need to add these two entries. That's the first thing you have to do. And then we have to do these preferences. Go to window preferences. Here instead of JR, you have to add JDK path. Then apply and close. After that, execute your pom.xml file. Okay. So this is very, very simple. So once you have successfully executed the pom.xml file in your Eclipse, then the next step is we can go and execute your test cases through command prompt without having any Eclipse. Run the test cases using command prompt without having Eclipse or without using Eclipse. So here how it is possible is we have to install complete Maven software. So normally the Maven is available in two different flavors. Maven is available in two different flavors. So when I say Maven, one is it is available as Eclipse plugin. It is available as Eclipse plugin. So just we have already have the Maven plugin within Eclipse. So by using that particular plugin, still we are able to create the Maven project, pom.xml file updated. So all these things we have done because we have already have the Eclipse plugin. Within the Eclipse, we are able to do that. But if you want to run my test cases, or if you want to run my pom.xml through command prompt, right? So we need to install Maven on operating system. So Maven is available as an installer on specific operating system. So we can install complete Maven software on Windows, Linux, or Unix, or any other operating system. So Maven is a software which is available as two flavors. One is it is available as a Eclipse plugin, and is also available as a complete installer on specific operating system. So if you want to run this Maven, or if you want to use this feature through command prompt, we have to completely install Maven. So you have to download Maven software and you have to install this, right? And this is very, very simple. I'll show you how we can do this. So to download this Maven software on Windows, we need to just go to Google and just type download Maven software. Just type download Maven for Windows. So once you open this particular link, you will see download Apache Maven. This is also Apache Foundation, from Apache Foundation. Just click on this first link. Now it will go to download page. So downloading Apache Maven. This is the latest version of Maven. So here there are files are available. So under links, right? So these are the files we have to download. So currently we are working on Windows. So we have to download only zip file. We have to download only zip file. So this is the one we need to download. And this is a source file. SRC is a source. We should not download this because they will give you the complete code, everything. We don't require the code. We need only binary. Binary means a jar file. Okay. So this is the one we need to just download. So once you click on this, it will start downloading your Apache Maven, and it is available as a just zip file format. So let me just give this link, direct link. So just download. That is the first step. Okay. Maven download link. This is the link, direct link. From there you can, sorry, this is tar.gz, right? So not this one, we have to download the second one, binary zip archive. Second one we have to download, not this one. So this is a bin.zip file. So basically you will get a zip file once you have downloaded. So what you guys can do is we have to extract this zip file. I'll show you, I already have the download. So let's go to C drive, and in the drivers I kept here Apache Apache Maven. Okay, so once you get the zip file, you have to extract that zip file. So once you extract it, you will see folders. So you have to keep those folders in the C drive. So you can see this is the folder I have. So keep everything in the C drive as suggest. You can keep everywhere, but it is a little difficult to remember all the paths. So I suggest to keep the folder here itself. So once you get the zip file, right? Once you have downloaded the zip file, extract that file, and then you will see this particular folder. So just copy this folder as it is in the C drive. So normally when you download your zip files, it will be there in the download section somewhere, like so, like this. So here itself we can just extract like this. Okay, extract it. Now we'll get a new folder like this. So copy this folder, Control C, and go to C drive and keep it here. Okay, this is the first step we need to do. And the next thing is, we don't need to do any kind of installation. So installation in the sense, just we need to do a simple configuration. We have to download the zip file, extract the folder, keep it in the C drive. Then we have to configure the path. That is very, very important. So go to where Maven. So this is bin folder, right? Inside the bin only all the libraries or commands are available. So just copy this location till here. And now this PC, go to properties. So how we have configured Java path, in the same way we have to configure the Maven path. Now click on advanced system settings. So now you will get this window. Go to environment variables. Now here inside the system variables, so you have to do one thing here. So that is, go to your path variable. So let's go to path variable, edit. Okay, so once you edit here, you have to just copy that file. So the copy, you need to just copy that location. So I already copied somewhere here. Okay, so yeah, this is a file. This is a location. Apache Maven 3.5.4/bin. Okay, so till bin folder, you have to copy everything. This is very, very important. And not only this, you should also copy till this one. So this is one path. This is one path you have to create. And along with this, you need to also create one more variable, because in the Jenkins, it will be very, very useful. So there are two things, m2_home, maven_home. These are the two additional variables you have to create along with the path. Path variable by default will be there. So very important, you have to carefully update this path. If I do something went wrong here, some application will stop working in your system. Okay, so please carefully do this. So first step, go to path and edit, and click on the new and copy the path, whatever you have done till bin folder. This is the first thing. And once you have done this, then here itself under system variable, create a new variable. Click on the new, and here type a maven_home, all are uppercase letters. And one more time here, copy the same path, but don't put the bin folder. Okay, just say only till the path. Okay, this is the one variable you have to create. As soon as you click on this OK, it will show you a new variable like this. So you can see here maven_home. And another variable also you have to create, m2_home, m2_home. And here also you need to keep the same, but don't put any bin folder. So these are the two additional variables you have to add. But without these two variables also it will work. But in the Jenkins it is required. So that's the reason before itself I'm adding, I'll show you here itself. So these are the two additional variables you have to create, m2_home, maven_home. So once you created this, again go to path variable. Okay, so if you notice, %maven, the same variable I have used here, maven_home, %% I put here, and m2_home, so %m2_home, %/bin I have given here. So I can just add these two entries in the path variable one more time. So once you created these two variables, and add those two variables in the path variable, again you have to click on the new, add % like this, and then maven_home. This is the one variable you have to add, and the other is again %m2_maven and %. So % is representing the current directory. Okay, /bin folder you have to add. So // bin folder. So these are the two paths we have to add. So this is very, very important. So I'll just remove from them. So I already have this, and just remove them. All right, so don't forget to add these two variables, very, very important. I'll just show you once again. So this is the one, this is the one. Let me just take the screenshot and I'll just give it to you. So don't forget this. This is the configuration of Maven. Once you copied the zip file, and then you have to do all these things. Let me just take the screenshot, right? So what you have to do here is you have to create these two variables. These are the two variables you have to create newly, and the path variable you have to update this one, and what else we have? Yes, this one. Okay, these three things, basically these three things you have to update. Okay, click on the new button here and then OK button. So actually these are the two things you are referring here. Okay, so I'll just copy the screenshot, I'll send it to you. So this is Maven underscore screenshot. All right guys, so this is the configuration you have to do one time. So once we have done this, then we can check whether the Maven is properly installed or not. So how we can verify is very simple. Just go to command prompt cmd and open your command prompt like this. So once you have opened your command prompt, so here just type a command. So what is that command is mvn-version. mvn-version. So when you run this command, okay, so it will show you the mvn Maven version. So now you can see here, this is your Maven version. This is your Maven version. And when you run this command also, here you will see an error first time. So what is an error is same error again. So when you run your test case through Maven CLI, you have to install the Maven. So first time when I run mvn version command, so whatever error we have seen in Eclipse, so same error you will see in the command prompt. So no compiler is provided in this environment. Perhaps you are running a JRE rather than JDK. So, and when you get this error, you can see here JRE path instead of JDK. Currently I have a JDK path, so it is fine. But in your case, it will be JRE path if you are getting an error. So if you want to fix this error, just need to just configure the Java home. So let's go to again your this PC properties, advanced system settings, and go to environment variables. And here you can see Java underscore home variable I created. So you have to give the path till Java JDK. Okay. And once you created this new variable, how to create this? Click on the new and just type Java underscore home and give the location of your Java till JDK folder. And once we have given this, and then go to path variable. Okay, go to path variable, edit. Now here I'm referring this Java home. So now you can see this one, percentage Java home and personal Java home lib directory. So both you have to refer. So these are the two things we have to do if you are getting that error. Okay, and now I'm closing this. So currently I have configured the JDK, so fine, it is not giving any error. So this is the first verification point. So once we have installed this Maven, so how we can verify this? We have to just type mvn-version command. mvn-version command. So this will give you the version number of Maven and everything is fine. So now we will able to execute our test cases through command prompt. So before that, you have to do all this configuration, make a Maven, everything is ready. So this is how we need to do just Maven installation. So I have given each and every step clearly. So run the test cases through Maven CLI. First, you have to install Maven on Windows operating system. You can download from this link. Okay, and then we have to configure the path. Right click on my PC, advanced system, environment variables. We have to create as a set or Maven paths and everything. And then check the version is installed or not, Maven install or not. If you are getting this error, we need to configure the path, Java path. Okay, done. So now let us see how we can execute our test cases without having Eclipse. So now currently my project is here. Let's capture the project path. So the path is very much required. So this is your current path of your project. So location of project. This is very, very important because we are referring this location multiple places. So once we get this location, we don't require this Eclipse. So I'm minimizing this, right? So if I open this particular folder in the Windows Explorer, this is your current project, right? So here we have a pom.xml, test.ng, everything. So here we need to open. So you can also open here also, but we need to first go to your project directory. So how we can go to your project directory? Command is cd and give the path. This is the first command you have to give. Now press enter. Now you are entering to the current project directory. So in your Windows, wherever you are, it doesn't matter, in whichever directory or whichever folder, doesn't matter. If you run cd and given complete path of your project, it will directly navigate to your project location. Okay, so here we have to run our pom.xml. So through Maven command. So here we need to execute one command here in the command prompt. So the command is mvn clean install. This is a command. So there are two commands actually. First, clean is a command. It will clean up all the previous stuff, and then freshly it will, once we cleaned up all the execution stuff, the previously whatever we have done, and again it will start execution of complete project using this install command. Now let us try to execute this command. Mvn clean install. This is a command. Okay, now I'm completely minimized my Eclipse, right? So now I'm going to execute through command prompt. This is only my command prompt. Observe this, what will happen. So I'm pressing enter here. So as soon as I press enter, it is started. So let's see how it will execute. Now it is started. So you can also see the UI. So after executing few statements before, and it will, so now we can start it. So now you can see the same logs, whatever we have seen in the Eclipse, we have seen, and it is also launching my browser. So it is launched my browser, my test case are executed. And you can also clearly read all the log messages here. Whatever logs we have created in your test cases, the logs messages will be appeared in the console window. Now you can see my test case is executing here. So running your test suite. Okay, well, first test case is completed. Now it is started second test suite. It should give all the logs actually. So we'll run one more time and see. So now it is executing second test case. Okay, so once it is successful, now you can see build success message here. Okay, something went wrong actually. Now it is giving the messages. So actually we should see these messages. Okay, so build is successful means all my test cases are executed. So again, you can see all the messages have been logged here. But these messages should log at the parallelly as soon as my test cases are executed. Something went wrong actually. So let me run one more time. So I'm just clearing this CLS, and one more time I'm executing Maven clean install. Now press enter. Okay, now there are executing some statements. Okay, now it is started running test suite. So only local connections are allowed. Now you can see, so there are some statements are logging in here, right? So parallelly my browser is opening all these things. So now by reading these messages, you can easily understand what is going on the test case side. Providing the username, providing the password, clicking on the login button, then login is successful. So first test case is completed. Now it is started another test case. So you can just carefully read that log messages. If there is something went, you can see the log messages and clearly understand what is went wrong here. Okay, providing the customer details, and the test case passed. And now finally you will get the build success. So this is all. Or if something is went wrong, it will give you build failure. Okay. Now where we can see all the reports and everything on the same project directory itself. So from where we have run this test case, so from this particular project directory itself, right? So let me open this one. So 1 second. Just a moment. So where is our project? The current directory is, this is our location of your project. So let's go to your project. So here under where test-output, these are the reports are generated. So this is a report just now generated. This is the latest report. Let me remove all the reports. Okay. So it will generate a fresh report now. So once again, I'm running my test cases. Let's clear everything. CLS. And then, okay, MVN clean install. So now we can see. So my test case again running. So once the execution is completed, we can see the new report here on the same project folder under test-output. For now, I'm just minimizing this. Okay, now my test case is started running. I haven't enabled data-driven test case because it will take some time. So that's the reason I'm just to disable that. You guys can run it. Okay, so now everything is done, right? So let's go and see the report now. So now you can see the new report is generated under test-output, your project directory. So now we can open with Google Chrome or some browser you can use. Any browser you can use it. So now two test cases have been executed and passed. All right, so this is how we need to execute your test cases through command prompt. Run your test cases using command prompt without using Eclipse. So what we have to do for this, we have to install the Maven software on Windows. Then we have to configure the paths, then execute this command through command prompt. So first we need to go to this particular location, wherever your project is located. And then we have to execute Maven, MBN means Maven. So MBN clean install. So this command we have to execute. So what this command will do internally is it will again execute pom.xml file. Internally this command will execute pom.xml. That's the only thing. Now, so in this approach, I'm just writing these commands manually, right? So I'm just CD, I'm providing the location, and then I'm giving this command manually in the command prompt. So I don't want to even write the command in command prompt. I don't want to even open my command prompt window. So when I do one click on the simple one file, it should automatically open the command prompt and it will start executing our test cases. That's how I need to do automate. So how we can do is, let's close this window. So in the same project directory itself, okay, go to your project location. Here, I will create a new file called as a batch file. That's called batch file is nothing but an executable file. Okay. In Windows, we can call it as a bat. .bat is an extension. And in other operating systems, we can call it as a sh. If it is a Linux or Unix, we have a shell script file. We can call it as .sh is an extension. So here, how to create the batch file. So that's the third approach. So in the third approach, we'll see how to run the test cases using run.bat file. So you can give any name to this bat file, but usually people will give a run.bat because this will run your test cases or test suites. So let me just create run.bat file inside the project directory. So here, new, and first take the text document itself. Okay. By default, it will give a .txt. Okay. So we need to rename this. So this will name is a run.bat, and remove the .txt. Remove .txt extension. Okay, the icon will be different. So for run.bat file, the icon will be different. And a lot of people will do some mistake here. So don't create the text file. It should be bat file. Okay, so run here, right click here, and edit. It will open up in the notepad just like this. But even though if it is open in the notepad, it is a bat file. Okay. So whatever commands we have typed in the command prompt, the same commands we have to give here. So CD, what's the command we have given to navigate to the project directory? CD, this is the location we have given. CD, the location of your project. And what's the next command we have given? MBN clean install. This is another command I have given. So instead of writing these two commands in the command prompt, I'll keep those two commands in the run.bat file. Okay. So once we have saved this, so now the run.bat file contains the two commands, right? So when I double click on this particular file, it will automatically open the command prompt and it will execute the same commands. So instead of manually typing all the commands, the run.bat file, we have keep those commands, and run.bat file will execute those commands automatically. Okay. Now on the test-report, only one report I have. So now how we can execute this? Just double click on this. Just double click. Now it is started a command prompt like this. Now we can see the same command is executed. CD, this one, and then MBN clean install command. All right. Now it is started executing my test cases. In the same way, whatever we have tried earlier. Now it is launching my web page. Now we can also see all the logs in my command prompt. Okay, now first test case is done. Now it is starting second test case. Okay, automatically this one will be closed. Once it is successful, closed. Window is automatically closed. We don't need to open and we don't need to close. Okay, that's the usage of run at back file. With a single click, everything will happen. Suppose if you have 100 test cases, 100 test cases will go and execute one after another. Okay, so that's the main importance of run at back file. So now we are able to execute three different ways. One is within Eclipse, we have executed through pom.xml. Then through command prompt, we have executed using commands, and the same commands are kept in run.bat file, right? And then we have executed. So on the run.bat file contains two entries. So what are the entries? CE and the location of your project, and then mvn clean install. So these are the two commands which we need to add in the run.bat file. That's it. Okay. Now we have seen three different approaches, and next level is run the automation through run.bat file. Also we have seen. The next thing is coming to the Jenkins. So here the continuous integration will start. So here the continuous integration will start. So this is very, very important. So we have already done this, and now we are in the Jenkins part. So I'm directly jumping into continuous integration. So here we'll discuss again. We already discussed Maven. Now I'm going to discuss about the Jenkins part. Okay. Now, what is before execution, before running your test cases through Jenkins, right? So why the Jenkins is required? Why we need to execute our test cases in these many ways? That we need to understand. So to understand this, we need to first discuss about continuous integration process. Please listen this one. This is actually happening in the real-time environment. So in the real-time environment, basically there are three important teams will work together. So one is developers. Okay, development is one team, and QA is another team. Okay, so between these two teams, there will be another team called as a DevOps, called development operations. So these people are responsible for integration stuff, like they will assist they will perform certain tasks from the developer, and they will perform certain tasks from the QA. So they will basically share the task between QA and dev. Okay, so let's see each and everybody's role. So every team contains a certain number of people, right? So what the dev is responsible for is, the dev is implement the code. So to develop the application, they have to write all their code, right? So the dev team will implement the code by using certain programming languages. They will basically write the code. And at the end of the day, so their developer means there will be different developers will be there, not only single person, right? So all these people at the end of the day, they will keep their code in common place. This is called as a repository. This is called as a common repository. I'll tell you this one and tomorrow session in detail. For now, just understand. This is a common repository. Repository means a place, a common place, and everybody can share that. So everybody can share those files, and they can put their files in this particular repository. This is called common repository. And everybody, whoever is done the task and completed, they'll keep their code in this particular repository. That's called common shared repository. So common shared repository. Now from once the code is checked in, this is called check-in process. Check-in is nothing but whatever code they have completed, they will keep that code, or they will copy that code in the repository. That's called check-in process. So once the developer checked in their code, what the DevOps team will do is, the DevOps team will pick up that particular code. Okay, they will do all the integration part. Then they will create a build. So because we don't get the programs directly from the developer, okay, so DevOps team will create a build after integrating all these programs, and they will take all the code from the repository, and they will make a build. Build is nothing but a final integrated product. Normally it will be an exe file, or sometimes it will be MSI file, or some other format. It is just an installer file. We can just get it and double click and start installation. So this is just an installation file, installer file. We don't get any code from the developer. Okay. So we will create this particular build. DevOps team will create this particular build. So once the build is created, so this is the main task they will do from the developer point of view. But actually build should be created for the developer, by the developer, right? But DevOps team will take responsibility of this. So DevOps team will take that code from the repository and they will create a build. So once they created the build, okay, this is from dev to DevOps. Now come to the QA part. So QA, what the QA will team is responsible for, and QA also there are multiple people are working under multiple test cases, right? So as soon as they have completed their test cases, automation test case I'm talking about. So whatever the test cases they have completed, and here also we have a common repository. Here also we have a common repository. So everybody in the team will check in their code, automation code in this particular repository. At the end of the day, whatever we have completed, the code or automation test cases will be part of this particular common repository. Now, once the DevOps team is created this build, right? And at the other side, the DevOps team itself will take our code, automation code from this repository and execute our automation code against this build. So this automation will be executed against this build. So here itself, the sanity and smoke testing will be completed. So what is sanity testing means? The basic functionality testing, whether the build is properly installed or not, and basic functionality is working or not, we can verify here itself. And here, this is the responsibility of the DevOps, not the QA team. So before QA is getting the build itself, and it will automatically verify the basic functionality. Okay. So what the DevOps team is doing here is they are creating the build by taking the code from the developers, and also they are executing our automation on the particular build after taking our code from the common repository. So the DevOps is helping the QA as well as the developer. So what is the use of this one is our process will become very faster. Okay, in the agile process especially, things will go very faster. So developers team will parallelly works and QA team is also parallelly works. There will be some team is required here. So they will coordinate between the QA as well as dev. Okay, so what the DevOps team responsibility is mainly integration purpose. So they will integrate all the dev code, creation of the build, okay, automation of build. So we can simply say build automation. Build automation is different and functional testing automation is different. So basically the DevOps team is responsible for build automation. Means they have to create the build based on the programs which are created by the developers. Now they will take our automation code from our common repository and they will execute our automation code on the build. And once the build is successful, basic automation is passed, and everybody in the team, DevOps, QA, everybody in the team will get automatic email. So build is successful. And then QA team will download this build in their environment and install in their environment and continue the rest of the functionality. Or bug fixes. Build is nothing but sometimes it will have bug fixes, sometimes it will have a new features implemented by the developer. So those things will be tested in the QA environment. Again, once they have passed, they have to immediately automate those test cases. Again, they have to check in their code, latest code on the common repository. And from the second round, again, the developers also created the new code. Again, they will put in the repository. These things will happen on day-to-day basis. Okay. Suppose, so the developer started morning at 9 a.m. and sharp 5 p.m. they have checked in their code in the repository. Okay. Now what the DevOps team will do is, here these are people actually. So those people don't involve manually. So they will do everything is automation. So here to creation of the build, they will use Maven software, and to run our automation in the build, they will use Jenkins software. So here the Maven Jenkins will come into picture. So actually Maven and Jenkins are DevOps tools, or we can say continuous integration tools. Basically Maven is purely build automation tool. Maven is a purely build automation tool, but as a tester, we are using just a few number of features from Maven, just updating pom.xml, running our test cases to command prompt. So these features are already there in the Maven. So we are just using only 5 to 10% of the features from the Maven. We are not using 100% features, but the DevOps team will use all the features from the Maven. And by using this Maven, they will create the build. They will integrate all the programs and finally they create the build. So how this will be done? By using Maven software. So DevOps will use this Maven very effectively. And Jenkins is a tool they will use to run our automation code on the build. And once the build is successful and our automation is executed, the final build will be ready in the Jenkins itself. So we have to download the Jenkins build and in your QA environment and we need to test in the next day morning. Suppose 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. they are working, right? So at the 5 p.m. exactly they have checked in their code in the repository, and from sharp 5 to next day morning. So between completely night, the entire night, the DevOps automation will run. So integration of build happen automatically. Parallel or automation code is also will execute automatically. But the end of the next day or beginning of the next day, so next day morning at sharp 9 a.m. we will get an email from the DevOps. So your build is successful and you can just download and test it. And next day morning, so before day 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. they are working on some features. And the next day morning we will get those features from the DevOps team, the complete build which contains the new features. Now we are parallelly we are going to test that one. And while testing that particular build, as soon as anything is passed, our new test case will be automated and then again check into the common repository. Again, parallelly the developers will work on another new features or bug fixes. As soon as they have done some fix or they have implemented a new feature, will be part of this repository at the end of the day. And these are continuous activities. Every day will happen. Every day DevOps team will run this, take this build, run this build, create the build. Jenkins will run our automation code on the build. So everything will happen day-to-day basis. And sometimes per day 2 times will happen. That depends on the infrastructure or the planning. Okay. So this is called continuous integration process. So from the DevOps and QA. So these two teams effectively working together for one project. And in Agile process, whenever the Agile came into the market, continuous integration processes become very, very popular. So nowadays, all the companies are following this process. So now the main intention I'm saying this one is where we have to use all these tools. Okay, so Maven is Jenkins is mainly used in DevOps team. We are not 100% responsible for Jenkins and Maven. We use certain feature from Jenkins and Maven, but actually owning by the DevOps team. Okay, this is called continuous integration process. So now why we have to execute our test cases using Jenkins, the third approach, because DevOps team will execute our automation test cases only through Jenkins. But what is our role? We have to keep our code in the common repository. We have to do certain configuration on the Jenkins. We have to we need to take the ownership of all configuration. Okay. And then from onwards, and even DevOps team also will not run automation. The automation runs automatically happen based upon the schedules. They will set certain time. Okay, based upon the time, Jenkins will execute our test cases automatically. But our QA responsibility is we need to just configure these things. We have to keep our code in the common repository. Then we have to configure this paths and everything in the Jenkins. Okay, at least we have to do some trial run. And from then onwards, the DevOps team will take care of it. Okay. So this is one-time configuration we have to do. So that's the reason we should make sure our test cases should be able to run on the Jenkins. And one more important thing here is Jenkins, whenever you execute your Jenkins, in that environment, we don't see any UI. So it is completely headless execution. Headless means we don't see any UI part. Everything will happen at the backend itself. But automation cases will run. We can see all the logs. What is happening at the backend, we can see that. But as a user, I don't see any kind of UI. So that's the main beauty of Jenkins. So because it is not showing any UI, the execution will be very, very faster. Everything will happen in the backend itself. Okay, that's the main feature of Jenkins. So everything will execute using seamlessly. Everything is executes seamlessly in Jenkins. Okay. So now we'll see how to execute our test cases using Jenkins. That's the next one, right? And we have to install Jenkins software. So Jenkins is available as an open source tool, and but in the real environment, you don't install any Jenkins in your system. Very, very important. So Jenkins will be owned by the DevOps team. Okay, so they will install in their environment, and they will just give the URL to you to access the Jenkins. So once you get the URL from the because this is a web-based application. Okay, because this is a web-based application, so you will just get a URL from the DevOps team. And by using this URL, you can access the Jenkins application, just like other website we will access, right? Using URL, same way. You can also access Jenkins through URL, and you will be provided one URL. You will be provided a username and the login. So by using username and login, you can just log into the Jenkins and you can add your project and do the configuration. That's only one-time job. So until unless your test cases are failing in the Jenkins, they don't approach you again. So when the DevOps team will approach you, sometimes your test case will fail in Jenkins, sometimes. Then you have to do certain kind of analysis. So why it is failing? Is that because of configuration issues in Jenkins, or is there any issues with the test cases, or sometimes application is changing something? Okay, so these all things we have to analyze. So only in that particular scenario or that particular situation, the DevOps team will interact with you, or they will communicate with you. Okay, so until unless once we have done the configuration in Jenkins, there is no much role in the DevOps team, QA role. So just you need to automate the test cases on day-to-day basis. Whatever is completed, make sure they are ready in the common repository. So Jenkins automatically pick up from there and execute your test cases. And tomorrow I will discuss more on these two. What is common repository? How we need to put the code there and everything. But today we'll see how to execute our test cases in Jenkins, because this will be part of maintenance. Okay, so check in the code, check out the code. So how we can put the code in the common repository, or if you want to modify something, how we can do this, how the Jenkins will take the code from this one. So we'll see that in the next session. That's called maintenance part. Now we'll see how we can execute our automation through Jenkins. Okay, so first of all, we need to install the Jenkins part. So to install the Jenkins, we have to go to this particular URL. I've captured each and every screenshot because this will take a lot of time. Okay, almost Jenkins will take 15 to 20 minutes of time to install completely. But in the real time, you don't install anything in your local system. For practicing purpose, you can do installation, because this is just open source tool. You can install and you can work with this. Okay, but in the real time is DevOps team is owned by this tool, so you don't need to install anything. All right, so now let us see how we can download Jenkins and how we can install it. So this is a link, step-by-step installation. Just go to this particular link. Now this is our Jenkins official website. Okay, so from this particular website, we need to download Jenkins software. So from where we have to download, so they have given so many things like weekly releases they have, and long-term support also we have. So we have to always download from this one. So download Jenkins long-term support. And most of the times weekly releases having some issues every time. So I face a lot of issues in the weekly releases. So just go to long-term support, because these are all stable builds, stable ones. Okay. So just go to Windows. Currently we are working on Windows. So click on the Windows. It will start downloading zip file. Now you got the zip file, right? So this is a zip file 118 MB. It will take some time. So I'll just cancel this because I already have it. So okay, so this is a link you have to use to download the Jenkins. This is the fourth approach. So how to run test cases using Jenkins. So first of all, we need to download the Jenkins. So this is a URL of application. So this is a, sorry, not this one. This is a, let me copy this. Not able to copy this. Okay, let it get it from here. This is your URL, or I can just directly provide this link. Copy this link, put it over here. Okay, so this is a link. So once you have opened this particular link, then you will start installing. You will get the zip file. So once you get the zip file and just extract that zip file, now you will see is like this. So let me just show you. So this is once you have extracted your zip file, you will see one folder like this, Jenkins and some folder, and open this folder. Then you can see one MSI file. So MSI means Microsoft installer. It is almost equal to exe file. So you will get this exe file like MSI file. Just you need to double click on this file. Okay, then installation will start. So the installer screens will be like this. So as soon as you click on that file, you will get this particular screen. So you need to go step by step. So click on the next, then click on the install. Then it will. This is a default location where the Jenkins will be installed. Now click on the next, and the next step. Then click on the finish. There are only 4 screens you will have. So now you are installed Jenkins. So this is very, very simple. But the configuration will take a lot of time. So installation of Jenkins is very simple, but we need to do certain configuration. So I'll show you that configuration. So here, come back. Okay, so same thing is there in presentation. So how we can do the Jenkins configuration? So as soon as you have installed your Jenkins, because this is a web-based application, you should be able to access using this particular URL. Okay, so HTTP localhost. But in real time, they will give you this URL to you. Okay, using that URL, you can access this. But when you install your Eclipse, when you install Jenkins in your local system first time, okay, when you open this URL, the first time it will show you unlock Jenkins. So this is a screen you will see, unlock Jenkins. So here we need to provide administrator password. So where we can find this administrator password. So to unlock the Jenkins, we have to provide this administrator password. So this administrator password will be provided inside this Jenkins installation location. So once you go to Jenkins installation location, so here I have Jenkins. There is a one folder called secret folder. So you can see secrets, right? So inside this folder, you will see, currently I don't have that one because I already used that key. So, but in your case, it will show you initial admin password. So this is the one it will show you for you. Initial admin password. Just open this in your notepad somewhere and just copy the text, whatever they have given, and put it over here. Okay. And then click on the continue. And then you will be able to unlock the Jenkins. Only once you have copied this password here, this file will be deleted automatically. So for me, I already used that key, so that's the reason you cannot see this file. Initial admin password is a file name. So where you can find this particular location under C drive, program files x86, Jenkins, and secret folder. So once you provided this password here, your Jenkins will be unlocked. So copy this here, click on the continue, then it will start configuration. So it will show you two options: install suggested plugins or select the plugins to install. So just go for first option because we don't know exactly what all plugins we require. So we can just try to install all suggested plugins by Jenkins. So select the first option, click on this button. This is basically a button. Okay, just click on this. Now it will start installing required plugins within Jenkins. So here it will take some time, maybe 1 or 2 minutes it will take. So each and every plugin will be added to your Jenkins. So after that, it will give you one more screen. These are all continuous screen, okay? One after another, it will be displayed. So under Jenkins configuration, again, it will show you create first admin user. So far we don't have any user for Jenkins, okay? But here we need to create the first admin user. This is, we have to create carefully. So as I suggest, give just admin. Admin is a username, admin is a password. And give some email ID. And it will be created admin user. So with this admin user, later you can create any number of users. User in the sense, he can able to log in into the Jenkins. Okay, so he can create any number of users in Jenkins, but admin user must be there. So administrator only can create other users, and he can admin or he can manage everything in the Jenkins. But rest of the guys don't have all the privileges. Even in the real-time DevOps team will you provide your login, but still you cannot access everything in Jenkins. Only your project stuff. In Jenkins, there are n number of projects keep on running, even from other teams. So in the Jenkins, whatever project you are responsible for, so you can see only that particular project. Other projects you cannot see in the Jenkins because of restrictions, access level restrictions. Okay, but admin user can see everything, and you can also do certain configuration within the Eclipse, within the Jenkins. So once we have selected, once we have provided this username, password, everything, and click on save and continue. Okay, then it will take some time here. Finally, you will get instance configuration. It will show you Jenkins URL like here, and then save and finish. So this is the URL you have to use every time to launch your Jenkins application and log into your Jenkins application with this admin user. So whenever you're providing these details, you have to make note of this, okay? Because sometimes if you forget, then again you have to reinstall Jenkins if you forgot those admin user, okay? Remember. Now click on save and finish. Now it will be installed. So now we need to do certain configuration inside the Jenkins. Okay, so you will get this Jenkins ready. So once you have logged into Jenkins, you will see the dashboard. This is called Jenkins dashboard. So now I'm going to show you my Jenkins. Go to Google Chrome. I'm opening my Jenkins. So how to open localhost colon 8080. So Jenkins will run on 8080 port number default. So press enter. Now it will be open your Jenkins. Okay, so it's not, site cannot be reached. Okay, if it is not, if we are getting some connection issues like this, just go and restart your Eclipse. So restart your Jenkins. There will be service created in the Windows. Go to services and open as a run as administrator. So go to the services and then restart the Jenkins service. So as soon as we have installed Jenkins, it will create a new. So now you can see my Jenkins is currently not running. So that's the reason I'm not getting the URL. So select the Jenkins service and click on the start. So by default, it will be up and running, but intentionally I have stopped this. So once it is started running, now you can see 3 buttons. You can always stop and restart anything, you can do it. So once we have started it, just wait for 1 or 2 seconds and then try this URL one more time. Okay, so still it is running. So that's the reason it's not yet open. It takes some time, few minutes time it will take. So this is all configuration part. Okay, so now it is pinging this URL. Let's wait for a few seconds. So before getting the login, so we have to do all this configuration step by step. Please do carefully. If you miss anything or if you do something went wrong, again you have to start from the beginning. Okay, so please do carefully and slowly. Okay. Now we have to log into the Jenkins. Yes, now my Jenkins is, please wait while Jenkins is getting ready to work. So I have to wait for a few more seconds and it is always doing refreshment. So once it is refreshed, now we will get the login screen. So once you log in, so admin user we already created earlier, right? So with the same admin user, we should be able to log into Jenkins. So once we log into Jenkins, we can create any number of users. Okay, so wait for a few seconds. Again, let me refresh it one more time. So once it is started, it will automatically give the login screen. Okay, now we got the login screen. So let me log into Jenkins admin username and password I have given at the time of installation and configuration. Then click on the sign in. So once you click on the sign in, then you will see the dashboard page. So this is the dashboard. So currently I have n number of projects. I already ran this earlier, but in your case, you don't see all these things. You will see only these options which are there in the left side. Okay, these are the only options you can see. By default, you don't see any projects here. This is actual default dashboard of the Jenkins. But here I have run all the multiple projects earlier so that it is giving all the projects like this. Okay, so this is how we need to install the Jenkins and unlock the Jenkins and do certain configuration and just log into Jenkins. But again, we have to do a lot of things inside this. So we need to also install Maven plugins in Jenkins, because we are using Maven project, right, in Eclipse. So we are going to run Maven project within Jenkins. So we have to also install additional plugins which are required for the Maven software. So to install those things, we have to go to within the Jenkins, we have to go to manage Jenkins. So all the plugins we can install from this manage Jenkins, and here just go to manage plugins. Okay, go to manage plugins. So here you have to select whatever entry is related to Maven. So I have given all the entries. Once you click on the Maven plugins under available, you can select our Maven integration, Maven release plugin, Maven invoker, Maven repository schedule cleanup, repository connector, Maven info. So whatever option is related to Maven, you can see, just select all these options. Okay, and once you selected these options, and just you will see one button here. Let me show you another screen. Okay, so manage Jenkins. Yes, so here you can see a button. So here install without restart. So this is actually a button, install without restart. So once you have selected all the Maven plugins, just click on install without restart. So once you have done this, it will take some time to install all Maven plugins within the Jenkins. So once it is done, again it will ask you to restart your Jenkins. Again it will ask you the login. Just provide the admin and click on the sign in. Now again you will log in into the Jenkins. This is another step we have to do within your Jenkins, within the Jenkins. So because I already have that, so I'm not getting any Maven options here. So but in your case, you will get a lot of Maven options. Select all of them. I've given in the screenshot, right? So you can just go through screenshot and select whatever Maven options I have selected. And then click on download. So here you can see one option called download now and install after restart. You can see one of these options here. Click on this, it will start installing. Then you can see this particular screen. So each and everything will take, each and every option will take some time. And you have to wait for 1 or 2 or 3 seconds, 3 minutes sometimes. And everything will be successful, and then automatically restart. Jenkins will be restarted. And one more time, you have to log in. So once we have done all these things, now we are ready to run our project through Jenkins. Say again, go to dashboard. So there are multiple options are there here. Just I'll show you what are options we have to use. Okay. So now we'll see how to run our project using Jenkins. How to run our automation using Jenkins. I'll show you now. So very simple flow we have to follow here. Run our test cases using Jenkins. Okay, so first we have downloaded Jenkins, we do configuration, all the stuff we have done. So now let's log in into Jenkins. So our Jenkins is already logged in. So in the Jenkins, there are 2 approaches we have. So in the 2 different ways we can run our project within the Jenkins. So the first approach is just go to new item. So new item means we have to create the new project within the Jenkins. So here I'm giving some name to your project. So here NOP Commerce. I'm just, there are 2 options are available, freestyle project, Maven project. Within the Jenkins itself, we have 2 types of projects. One is freestyle project, Maven project. If I take freestyle project, we can run that file, which I have already created earlier. And if I take Maven project, we can directly run our pom.xml file. So there are 2 options. But in the real time, we always use Maven project. Okay, but I'll show you both of them. So freestyle project, I'm just taking first of all, I need to give some name here. So what is the version of your project? V001. So no commerce, V001 freestyle project. So I'm giving some name here, and then take the freestyle project and then OK button. So this is the flow. I have given all the screenshots, so please follow the same. All right, so now I have given the location. So here, if you want to write some description of the project, you can just write it or leave it. So don't do anything else here. Just directly come down to build section. Okay. So here you have to select one option called execute Windows batch command. Execute Windows batch command. Select this. Now here you have to provide the location of your run.bat file. So location of your run.bat file. So here I have given everything very clearly. So first new item, provide the name of the project, freestyle project, okay. Then go to build section, select execute Windows batch command and specify path of your run.bat file along with the run.bat file name. So first entry will be CD, your location of your project, and then run.bat file. So these 2 things we need to specify. Now let's go here, CD. Right, so CD, where is our project location? This is the location, right? So the same commands. This is the command, this is the location. And in this location, my run.bat file is present, right? So we have to just specify the name of the file, run.bat. There's only 2 entries. Now apply and save. So again, it will go to, this is your project dashboard, specific to project. Again, if you go to back to dashboard, it will show you all the projects. So all the projects. If you want to go specific to your project dashboard, and you can see one entry for your project. So if you see here somewhere, it should be there. 00 V1 given, right? So this is the one. So still we haven't run this. So that's the reason it is giving a gray color. So red means it is failure. Gray means it is not yet executed. Blue means it is passed. Okay. So it is not yet executed, but if I click on this link, it will go to your specific project dashboard. So we can run in many places. We can run from here or we can also run from the main dashboard. So from here also we can just click on this triangle, click on the build now option, or we can also click on here. This is an option we have. Okay, multiple places we have. So normally we will run on project dashboard. Okay, just direct to go to your dashboard. Here, just you need to click on the build now option. So this is the option you have to use. Now internally it will execute run.bat file. So I'm just clicking on build now. So here we cannot see any UI because everything is a seamless. Now click on build now. So once you click on the build now, so here you can see started execution. So just click on this progress bar. Just click on this progress bar. Then you will see some log files. So I have just clicked on this progress bar. Now we can see the logs are creating here. So now my project is started. Same commands have executed. See now. So it started my execution. First time it will take some time, but from the second round onwards, it will do very faster. So now you cannot see any screens. Everything is seamless. But the log message you can see. Now you can see tests have started. So by reading these log messages, we can understand what is happening at the backend. So in the DevOps environment, our test cases will run in the same manner. Okay. So they don't want to see any UIs. Just they want our test cases are passed or failed. That's it. So now we can see the read messages based on the log messages. We can easily understand. So that's the reason we have to write the more number of logs in the test case. At the time of writing your test case itself, if you write in detail messages, at the runtime, it will be very, very easy to debug the issues. So logs will be very useful at the time of debugging issues. Now you can see, so adding new customer is also execution is done. Executing is happening here. So it will go faster and we can't see any UI here. Everything is seamless or headless. So now everything is done. Now build is success. So now I'm able to execute our test cases run.bat file within the Jenkins using freestyle project. So in the Jenkins itself, we have two approaches. One is using freestyle project. We can execute our test cases. Here we have to use run.bat file. And the second way is Maven project. Using Maven project within the Jenkins we can use, but here we need a pom.xml file we have to execute. So I will also show you the second approach. So let's go and see. So once we have executed build is successful, then go back to your project. Now again go back to your dashboard. Now we can see this is turned into blue color. That is successful. And you can run the same project any number of times. You don't create these multiple projects every time. Okay, this is only one time job. So once you created this entry, that's it. So automatically test cases will execute every time. But this configuration should not change once we have done this. Alright, this is the one way of executing run.bat file. But we don't follow this approach. This is only for practicing purpose. So we'll see the second approach, Maven project. How to run your test cases using Maven project. So to run your test cases using Maven project, Jenkins Maven project, you have to do certain settings within the Jenkins itself. You have to make sure that very, very important step. If you miss this step, you cannot execute. So when I create a new project, new item, this is a Maven project. So first method we have already seen. So here we have used run.bat file. So here Maven project I'm taking. So if you want to take this Maven project, we can run the pom.xml directly through Jenkins. But only thing is we need to add a special plugins to use this particular Maven project. So how to add those plugins? So not a plugins, we need to set proper paths because Maven plugins we have already installed earlier, right? So if you notice in the previous screen, so your Maven plugins for Jenkins we already installed. So now we don't need to do anything else. Only thing is we have to configure certain paths because Java home. So I already told you these paths should be configured before coming here. So Java home path should be specified. So where we have to specify here is just go to Jenkins and here manage Jenkins. All the configurations will be done in the manage Jenkins. Click on this manage Jenkins. Now go to global tool configuration. Global tool configuration. But our Jenkins should know where our Maven and Java is there. That's the main important thing. Okay. So in the global tools configuration, so you can see JDK folder. So once you click on this JDK installations, So yeah, I already configured my JDK is this one. But in your case, you don't see anything here. So just give some name here called my JDK or something else. And here provide your JDK path, means your Java path. So once you are provided here, don't do any option here. Delete JDK or add JDK. You will see some options here. Don't do anything. Just specify the JDK name. Give the java.home. So when I'm providing this value here, java_home. Okay, so once we have provided this, then directly come down, apply and save. And don't do anything else. Okay. So this is very, very important. So just add my JDK, provide this location and done it. So apply and save. So I already done this. So I have given the screenshot also here. So go to dashboard, manage Jenkins, global tools configuration, go to JDK section, provide some name, provide your JDK part, click on save and apply. Okay, this is the configuration. So now we will able to use a next option. There's a Maven option. So now come back to your dashboard. Now I'm taking a new item and this time I'm going to use Maven project. Okay, so now I'm giving, so previously what is the name I have given? No commerce 001 something, right? So no commerce 0 version 00. Yes, this is the name I have given earlier. Now this time the same version of the project, but this time I'm taking Maven project. This is your Maven project. I'm just changing the name. Okay, same project. I'm just using Maven project approach. So select this Maven project this time and okay. Now it will go to build section. So it will go to configuration page. Yes, this is your configuration page. So now what we have to do here is just directly come to build section and this time it will show you pom.xml. So but we have to give the complete path of your pom.xml. So where is your pom.xml is present in your project home directory, right? So this is a location you have to specify. This is a complete location you have to give. So in this particular location, your pom.xml is present. So what is the command we have to execute here? The command is clean install. So clean install, whatever command we have executed in the command prompt, the same command, clean install. MVN we don't require. Okay, MVN by default will be taken care by Maven. So just specify the location of your pom under this root pom directory, and goals and options is a Maven command, clean install. That's it. So once we added this, then apply and save. So again, it will enter into the project dashboard. So from here, you can run your project. Now I'm going to run this one more time. So click on build now. So once you click on the build now, it is started execution. So again, if you click on this progress bar, just click on this progress bar, you will see the log files. So all the log messages you can see here. This is another approach. So these are the two approaches we have to follow to execute your project within the Jenkins. So it is started. So first time it will take some time because it requires it. Now it is started. So there are a lot of things are there. So guys, you have to go step by step, spend some time on this, do very slowly. Okay? Don't be in a hurry. So please do step by step very slowly and understand the step and do it carefully. And make use of this PDF file. I'll share this presentation today. So go through each and every screen and do the exactly the same way. And if you miss anything, if you do something wrong, again, it will be very, very difficult to fix it. Okay, so please do carefully. So now my test case is running, customer details is providing. Okay, so once it is done, you will get the build success here. Test is passed and finally you will see build success. So we are able to also execute our test cases using Maven project within your Jenkins. Now build is success. Actually, DevOps team will execute our test cases in this particular manner. Okay, so this approach they will follow. So this configuration we have to do as a QA first time. Okay, and DevOps team automatically execute the same project multiple times. Now, if you go to your project, now my project is successful. So this is the Maven project is successful. Okay, so just go through these particular schemes and do as it is. So now what we have seen so far is We have just executed our complete project using freestyle project, using run.bat file, and also we are able to execute our complete project using Maven project, that is pom.xml. Okay, these are very, very important. So for today, just practice all these things till here. This is very, very important. And tomorrow I'll show you a few more things in Jenkins. Okay, but here in this particular approach there is some problem. So let me just also give that particular problem. So tomorrow I'll show you again. So as I said, here there is a QA team and here the dev team is there. Okay, so here the DevOps team is there. So where is our Jenkins is running? Here our Jenkins is present. Here the Jenkins is installed. So they have given just URL to you, but the Jenkins is not there in your local system, right? So Jenkins will automatically, okay, so Jenkins is located in DevOps environment, not in your environment. But in today's session, what we have done, we have Jenkins installed in our QA environment, our local system. So we are able to configure paths. Even pom.xml path also have given my local system path, because all my project is completely available in my local system. So Jenkins also there in the same system, project and Jenkins, both are present in the same location, so that I can easily configure all the paths within the Jenkins. I should be able to execute it successfully. There is no issue at all. But in the real time, you don't do this approach, because you don't keep any files in your local. Why? Because Jenkins will be installed in DevOps system. They will just share that URL with you. But actual application is there in DevOps server, right? But your project is still there in your local system. But how we will configure your local paths in remote Jenkins, right? This is an issue you have. How we can configure your local paths in your Jenkins, because Jenkins is remote application which is there in the DevOps machine or DevOps server, but your project is located in your local system. So here the biggest problem. So there are two solutions. One solution is we can just move the complete project in the DevOps server or DevOps machine, and there we can configure the local paths. That's the one approach. But this approach will not follow in the real time, because there are so many people are working on so many things. So how we can integrate all these projects and how we can send them to DevOps? If it is a small company, one or two people are working, that is fine. But in the real time, it doesn't happen like this. So this is the conflict we have. But how we can overcome this? So we have to use a common repository called Git and GitHub repositories. So tomorrow we're going to discuss about this. So we will put all the code in Git and GitHub repository, right? So this Git and Git repository code can be accessed through URL. So Jenkins will take our code from the Git and GitHub repository. So this is a common location where we have to keep all our code or project code into this one. We have to check in all our code into Git and GitHub repositories. From there, Jenkins will take it every day and this will automatically execute. So in this particular context, we have to just configure GitHub URL in the Jenkins. We don't provide any local paths. So by using this approach, we can overcome that particular conflict. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss more about this Git, what is GitHub, how we can check in our code in the Git and GitHub repositories, how Jenkins will take that code. All these things we'll discuss in tomorrow's session. Okay, so I'll stop here. So you guys understood right so far. So this is very, very important. And if you put any 2 or 3 years of experience, then you can easily answer the questions if you know this particular topic. And 90% of the people don't teach these kind of topics. So this is very 100% real, genuine topics. So please understand and follow the same thing. And if you get any questions, any real-time questions, you will easily understand and you can easily answer those questions. Okay, guys. So I'll stop it here, guys. So rest of the things, so we'll discuss in tomorrow's session.